Welcome to the Graph Espresso, episode number 2. The Graph Espresso is where you get all your fresh brew of the graph news, fast, focused, and fun. This show is produced by Pinax. We're a leading indexer on the graph, running all our own bare metal servers. And we also provide hosted services for cutting-edge technology like Firehose and Substreams. Visit pinax.network today for all your on-chain data needs. My name is Steph. This is my co-host Chris, and we are pumped to bring you some exciting graph updates today. I'm new to the graph ecosystem and learning a lot every week. Chris, on the other hand, has been here for a while, and he'll be explaining a lot of these updates to us and giving us some valuable context to make sure we can make sense of everything that's going on in the graph ecosystem. So, Chris, how are you doing today, and what do you think of our first episode?
I'm doing great. It's good to be back. I thought the first show turned out well. My family said it was good, and the community seemed to like it too, and that's really what matters.
They really did. We got tons of love from the graph community. It was really exciting to see. Special shout out to Carl from Edge and Node and Andy from the Graph Germany, who designed a great Graph Espresso logo and also animation. And of course, thank you to everyone else who watched the show, who engaged with the show. It meant a lot to us. All right, Chris, are you ready to jump in this week's topics and teach us the latest and greatest in the graph ecosystem?
Let's go.
Highlights the latest activities in the GraphM and recaps various community events. Today, we're talking all about ETH Denver. So, Chris, you were at ETH Denver. How was the event?
ETH Denver was a blast. As a community, we spend so much time behind our screens, but our brains really need to be able to connect with some people in real life. It was awesome to see how people were building different and unique projects, protocols, whatever, on all the different things that are out there. It was really fun to see. There was a genuine interest this year in just end users of who is using the graph. The most recognizable name, Uniswap.
Spoiler alert, that's not the last time we'll hear about Uniswap on this show. All right, let's move on to some memes. Tegan Klein, co-founder and CEO of Edge and Known, is fairly proficient in the arts of the memes, and she had a great one last week. Some people claim there were many indexing solutions talked about at ETH Denver, but as Tegan puts it, there is no second best indexing solution. Obviously, a play on the Sailor meme, but I find that it fits quite well in the context of the graph and ETH Denver. All right, Chris, what else stood out for you at ETH Denver?
This year, the semiotic team was huge for us. Sevi and Sam both had incredible presentations that are available on the Graph's YouTube channel, so go check those out. I got to spend quite a bit of time at the booth with the semiotic team. These guys are just awesome. We spent most of our time talking about life in general, just travel, food. It hammered home to me that these guys aren't just working and building code for the sake of building code, but they have a passion to affect change in the world. Two of the other guys that really stood out were Kevin and Marcus from Edge and Node. They were huge DevRel resources for the guys and ladies, everyone that was building throughout the entire hackathon. Kudos to the BizDev and marketing teams from Edge and Node and the foundation that were there. I know they all had a lot of meetings. It was a busy few days, but made some good connections. Again, ate some really good food. Switching gears away from Denver, the Graph recently announced the inaugural members of the new Technical Advisory Board, which will help steer protocol R&D. That is an impressive list of names. And this is a big step forward in coalescing the technical vision of the graph. Don't want to end this segment without mentioning Talent Layer, a project that's building with AI. The second episode of the Grapher Club podcast from the Graphernauts features their founder, Kirsten Pomales. And one cool fact you'll learn from here is that their ChatGPT job market bot, which is called Freelance Search, actually leverages the graph and is powered by the Talent Layer subgraph.
Graph-powered AI bots. That's what I'm here for. Deserves an air horn for that. So if you're not familiar with Talent Layer, it's an open protocol and API connecting the world's marketplaces. Talent Talent Layer enables devs to build applications from freelance marketplaces and rideshare apps to AI recruitment agents, all powered by one network effect. So Talent Layer published their subgraph on the Graph Network to leverage a variety of on-chain data in a fully decentralized way. So make sure to follow them on X at Talent Layer. Where we review major graph announcements as well as mentions in the wider Web3 space. And today, as promised, we have a juicy piece of news from arguably the most popular dApp in crypto, Uniswap. So Chris, what's up with Graph and Uniswap?
Uniswap has used the graph, has leveraged the graph for their landing page analytics for years. So, them being involved is not something new. But what happened recently, Derek from Data Nexus and Mac from Graphica, along with several members of the Builders DAO community, completely rebuilt the Uniswap subgraph. Now it powers not only their landing page, but also some analytics and data that's available in their new app. So just an expansion of that collaboration there. Derek and Mac are legends, shadowy supercoders extraordinaire.
All right, thank you for that update, Chris. That's where we give a high-level introduction to technical innovations happening in the graph ecosystems. Today, we're talking about the blobs, specifically how to save them. I recently learned what a blob was. At first, I thought it was a funny Web3 term that someone came up with, but actually, no, this is a standard cryptographic concept. So, in case you don't know, a blob is a binary large object. Refers to a collection of binary data stored as a single entity in a database system. Blobs are used to store any type of data in binary form. All right, so now you know what a blob is. In the blockchain context, blobs are going to be used by L2 rollup chains to validate their state on the L1.
Under EIP 4844, which is now live via the Dencun upgrade, blobs are only saved for 18 days. So if you're building something using blobs, you'll need to find somewhere to access them. This is where Pinax comes in. We're saving them all. The blob collector. The initial focus is on the gas cost savings in blobs, but they're going to be a fundamental building component moving forward. So whenever you're ready to build on blobs, you know where to find them.
That's right. And we're not just talking about blobs because Pinax is going to be actively involved in the saving of them, but because we believe it's very important and it highlights some of the potential unlocks that blobs are going to bring to the space, including significant gas cost reduction. All right, and last but not least, make sure to look for some funny blob memes on your social media. I'm sure you'll see some from Pinax in the near future. Now, if you want to learn more about this topic, you want to learn more about anything that we're talking about today on the show, visit us at blog.pinax.network. We've got great articles on a variety of graph-related topics. You can learn a lot there. You can also check out the show notes below to see the links to all the stories that we've been highlighting so far. All right, our last piece of content here in the technical telescope is the substreams.dev portal. So we want to bring your attention to the Substreams registry. Substreams.dev recently got a facelift and is now more beautiful than ever. Make sure to check it out at substreams.dev. Builders can dive in, share their substreams, and leverage the power of real-time on-chain data composability. It's never been easier to find useful packages developed by the community, and you can do that at substreams.dev. All right. Expansion, we highlight the chain-agnostic nature of the graph and discuss multi-chain collaboration.
Yes, the graph is everywhere. Pinax also just announced Substreams for Arweave, which is the decentralized file storing option that is the foundation for AO, a new parallel computing protocol. It just came out. A-Star ZK EVM support was also just announced previous week. So index all the chains. SQL is next on the list. Beta testing underway. And drum roll, please, an AI service from the friendly folks at Semiotic Labs. before we wrap up this segment, there is an awesome new Subgraph Network subgraph migration bot on X that pings you whenever a subgraph is published on the decentralized network. So sign up for that to help you visualize how fast the graph is growing. Warning, there's a lot of them. They're going to come fast and furious.
All right, Chris, here we are at the Stellar Wrap-Up, where we preview upcoming events and try to make you smile before we sign off. So as for upcoming events, depending when this is published and when you're watching, you can meet Pinax in person at ETH Taipei and ETH Bucharest. These events are happening this week, last couple of weeks of March, so make sure to reach out if you're out there. There are usually some free Pinax Pro plans up for grabs if you find us. So if you see that fire hose helmet walking around an event, you know Pinax in there. Definitely come say hi. All right, so we started off the show with a strong Tegan meme, and we're going to end it with another strong Tegan meme. So here we have Tegan here posting a meme about explaining the power of Graph protocol to normies. So, you know, Chris, usually when I'm talking to people about blockchain, I do feel like some sort of mythical warrior on a divine mission to educate the masses and save the world. But right now, in the Graph ecosystem, listening to you talk, sometimes I feel like I'm the normie.
Hey, that's okay. Everyone starts out as a normie. But if you continue doing your research and co-hosting the Graph Espresso show with me, you can level up, and one day you too can be a knowledgeable mythical warrior just like me.
Really think so?
Yes, but you must continue learning about the Graph ecosystem.
All right. You want to do another show in a couple of weeks?
Let's do it.
Awesome. See you then. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this show, leave a like, subscribe to us, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.